Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
A shot at 15 comes to mind as one of the huge highlights of the day for you. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, it was. I think I had about 235 pin. Was just a nice kind of hold 3-iron, and I felt like I had a good number. And it's nice when I have a number where I want to cut it and the pin's on the right, and that was one of those instances. And so was able to hit a really nice shot in there, pretty close to the pin, and hold a putt.
Yeah.
The wind today has been a factor for everybody. It didn't seem to impair you a whole lot. How'd you deal with it?
I mean, it was pretty windy out there. I just tried to do my best to execute. Teddy, I think, did a really good job of getting most of the winds right for the day, and that's a pretty challenging task, I think, around this golf course, especially when the winds are up, just because you have so many trees that kind of block it, and when it's gusty, it can be really challenging and start blowing from directions where it's not quite supposed to at times, and that's another one of the challenges of playing this golf course. But I feel like we did a good job today of executing and putting ourselves in the right spots out there.
It's a big week next week. Has it made you do anything different this week, like to try and conserve, or do you approach this tournament because of that? Or?
Not really. I mean, if anything, maybe my prep work last week would have been a little bit lighter than typically going into a week like this. But outside of that, no. As far as the tournament week goes, I'm here to compete and play my best. I'm not really focused on next week at the moment.
When was the last time you came off the golf course and looked at Teddy and said, I really was off today?
I don't know.
We're all in agreement. We're just.
I mean, I try to forget those days, and so I'm pretty fortunate right now that I can't really remember. The only one I can really remember was Saturday at the PGA, but that was another caddy, so we'll just we'll blame him for that.
Well, then we know why it happened.
Potentially stupid, Scottie, because I didn't see it. But what'd you do on 5 today? You're in the fairway.
I'm in the fairway, and I had a clean golf ball, which makes the second shot significantly easier.
I saw the rest of it, but how did you get a clean golf ball?
I don't know, just blind luck.
Did you have any?
If I could figure out how to not get mud balls, I would do it.
It's kind of my question. Victor was talking about on some holes whether he would try and hit a knuckler to get it going forward, and at least maybe you can wipe the mud off or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a thought for sure. I've tried at times to even hit it lower, and hoping that it would not go as deep into the ground, and I mean I was still getting mud balls then, and so really I kind of just try to continue to execute the shots and take the bad breaks as I get them, and like number 5 is a hole where you almost need spin off the tee just because the fairway is so narrow up there. And really, I'm trying to control my distance more than, trying to hit it far. And so if I'm going to try and knuckle one, it would be me trying to hit it further. And on that specific hole, I'm kind of trying to keep the ball at a certain distance. And so really, I'm just trying to hit the appropriate shot to get the ball in play and, hoping that I don't get mud on it.
Is golf easy for you right now, or is that
No.
maybe not the word?
Easy's definitely not the right word. I feel like what I love about this game is how difficult it is. I love coming out here and competing against the best players in the world on the best golf courses, and this is obviously a pretty challenging track. And I love I really just love competing out here, and I don't really think about whether or not it's easy or hard. And some days I play good, and some days I don't. And outside of that, I'm just out here trying to compete.
How would you describe it then? Uncomplicated, or
I mean, sometimes it feels really good, and then sometimes it doesn't feel as good. And I don't really know how to describe it other than that. I'm going to try not to really think about it too much, to be honest with you.
Scottie, a famous, well-known sports psychologist Ken Ravizza used to say, trying to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Would you describe it sort of like that?
I think there's definitely something to that. I think, being out here in the arena and competing, with cameras and fans and people watching you and stuff like that can be a little bit unsettling for people. And so, I think the nerves are kind of a sign that you care. And so when you come out here and I'm nervous standing on the first tee, it's because I'm prepared to play well. And, that's what I want to do when I show up to the golf course. And so, I always remind myself about my preparation when I get on the first tee, and then do my best to compete after that.
And one more, Scottie, from someone your age, and there's a lot of great players in your age group, but what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Payne Stewart?
The first thing that comes to mind is either his putt there at Pinehurst, and then, the Payne Stewart Award is something I always try to go to at East Lake, and so, his legacy and seeing his family there each year is always really special. And he did a lot for the communities that we play in across the country, and he was really an inspirational guy that I look up to as a player just because of the impact he was able to have off the course as well.
You don't remember the putt, I take it?
No, I said that. What do you mean?
I remember watching it.
I remember watching it on YouTube and some commercials. But yes, no, I do not remember where I was at the moment.
2-year-old.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Punctuated a good round there, Victor, on 18. Just kind of take me through both how the course was playing and then how you were able to kind of play well on it.
Yeah, greens were firmer today, so that already makes the greens play a little bit smaller. And then obviously some nice gusts there and some steady winds makes it even more difficult. So did a good job of just hitting a bunch of fairways, but even then there's a lot of thinking and guessing going into the greens. It's just hard to get it close to the hole, but I managed to do that today somehow.
Did it feel more difficult than yesterday? The scores would indicate that, but just from your vantage point?
Yes, 100%. I don't know, and so far with different pins, I thought there were some tricky pins yesterday, but there were some good ones today as well. I just happened to play better today, hit it a lot nicer. Missed a few short ones, but still, yeah, just play great.
Was there anything, did you go work on anything last night that you felt like maybe worked better with your swing today?
Yeah, I just got on a FaceTime with Joe, and we just talked through some feels and simple cues that, I saw some immediate kind of improvement. So it was nice to take those feels out to the course today.
You talked kind of about this, but the fact that now it seems like that you can take those feels from like Thursday night into Friday a lot easier maybe than you did earlier in the year. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah, I mean it's key just finding a playable feel, something that's going to be different and actually make you hit it better, but it's still got to be simple enough for you to do under the gun, because it's you don't have a lot of time and to tinker out there. It's just when the course is so hard, you got to know where the ball's going.
Victor, if you could draw a visual with your finger, which would be great for TV, by the way, of your confidence level last year when you won to where you are now, what would it look like? You don't have to use your finger.
It's a good question. No, that's fair. I'd say because I came off playing really nicely at the PGA last year, and I was doing a lot of really good things. I was probably here, and then after the FedEx Cup, it was here. Now I'm at least getting closer to where I was at this tournament last year. So not quite there yet, I feel like, but can't argue against the results. I'm playing some nice golf, so just gotta keep it going.
How much would you have to bend over to show a low point?
Yeah, let's not go into that.
And lastly, when you, as it relates to how you feel about your game and confidence and everything else, how much do you get from result? How much do you get from feel when you're just hitting the ball?
Yeah, I'm probably more skewed to the subjective feel of things. I can disregard the results a little bit if I'm doing the things that I can control really, really well. Because some things, especially at this place, is so hard. I mean, you can hit good shots and end up at some bad spots, and you can hit bad shots that end up in some decent spots. So it's just like during 3-4 rounds of golf, that's not a big enough sample size to really show that, okay, yeah, you're playing great. But if for me personally, if I can start the ball left and it cuts and I can hit as hard as I want and not worry about the ball going left, that to me in itself, that means that I'm playing some good golf, and I can go out there and shoot a good score. Whether I shoot 65, 60, or 74, that's, you don't really know. That's
other factors.
Yep.